Welcome to Cost Saver Conversations. I'm Angela, and I ask the practical questions so you can quickly understand what matters. Today, I'm joined by Assad.
Hi, Angela. We are unpacking UK currency converter, live ECB rates, hidden fees, and smarter travel money choices today, and tying it back to the wider cost saver ecosystem, including tools like UK currency converter, live ECB rate plus travel money optimizer, currency converter tool, and UK currency converter tool so you can turn insights into action quickly.
Just a heads up before we dive in, we are your synthetic hosts. We are great with numbers, but as AI, we can sometimes be confidently wrong. Think of us as the digital versions of your most knowledgeable, slightly caffeinated friends.
Exactly. Treat this chat as a smart estimate only, not as professional financial guidance. Always check important details with official sources or a qualified expert before making any big decisions.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. Today, we are diving into something that I think literally every single person listening has dealt with: holiday money. You know that moment where you're standing at some counter, handing over your pounds, feeling like you've got it all figured out?
And then you get home, maybe you're doing your accounts or whatever, and you realize, hang on, where did all that money go? Like, it evaporates, and you can't quite put your finger on why.
Yes, that's exactly it. It's like this vague sense of being ripped off, but you can't prove it. So, Assad, you've been digging into this whole world of currency conversion. Give me well, actually, let me ask it this way. How much are people actually losing?
Okay, so the headline number, and this genuinely surprised me when I first saw it, most UK travelers lose between 3% and 7% every time they change money. Every single time.
3 to 7%?
Yeah, and the thing that makes it so insidious is it almost never shows up as an obvious fee. There's no line on a receipt that says, hidden charge. It's just baked in.
Okay, so walk me through this. Like, give me a real example, because I want to understand where the money actually goes.
Right, so imagine you're at Heathrow, okay? You've got £500, you want euros for your family holiday. The board says 0% commission in big, cheerful yellow letters. You think, brilliant, no fees. But if you check the actual rate that day, you'd find you got maybe 560 instead of the 585 your money was genuinely worth.
So that missing 25 euro just...
It didn't vanish. It was sitting inside the exchange rate they quoted you. They just gave you a worse rate. And I mean, multiply that across 2 or 3 trips a year, and a typical UK family is quietly handing over 150 to 400 pounds annually, just to hidden spreads.
Ah, that is a lot. And I've definitely fallen for the 0% commission thing multiple times, honestly.
Most people have. And look, that's kind of the point. 0% commission is actually often a warning sign. Because if they're not charging you a visible commission, they have to make their money somewhere, right? So they bury their entire margin inside the rate they offer you, which is, it's legal, it's common, and it's enormously profitable for them.
So it's like the less they appear to charge you, the more they might actually be taking?
Often, yeah. Counterintuitive, but yeah.
Okay, so how do I know what the real rate actually is? Like, what's my benchmark?
Good question. So there's something called the mid-market rate. You might also hear it called the interbank rate or the ECB reference rate. When you Google like GBP to USD and it shows 1.17 or whatever, that number, that's the mid-market rate. It's basically the midpoint between what banks buy and sell currencies for at the wholesale level.
Right.
And you, as a regular person, almost never get that rate. What you get is that rate minus a margin, the spread. A supermarket bureau might take 3%. An airport kiosk might take 8 to 12%. A specialist like Wise typically takes 0.35 to 0.6%.
Wait, 8 to 12% at the airport versus under 1% with Wise?
Yep,
That's wild.
it really is. And the rule of thumb I'd give anyone is if the rate you're being offered is more than 2% worse than the mid-market rate, walk away. There's almost always a better option, usually just a 10-minute app download away. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah. So let's go through the worst offenders then. Airport bureaus are obviously up there.
They're the worst, hands down. which has repeatedly found airport rates to be 10 to 15% worse than mid-market. And they know it. Their customers are captive, time-pressed, not shopping around. Travelex, MoneyCorp, ICE, they all operate airport branches.
10 to 15%. That's just, that's daylight robbery, honestly.
It kind of is. Now, one thing, if you absolutely must exchange at the airport, pre-ordering online for collection is usually 3 to 5% better than just walking up. So there's that at least.
Okay, good to know. What about the high street? Post office, M&S, Tesco?
Better, but still typically 2 to 4% worse than specialist online services. The post office in particular markets heavily on 0% commission, but their actual spread is usually in the 2.5 to 3.5% range. So, it's not the bargain it looks like.
I hadn't thought about it like that. I always assumed the post office was like the sensible option.
Yeah, and it's not terrible. If you need physical cash quickly, it's fine. It just shouldn't be your default.
Fair enough. Now, what about just using your normal bank card? Like, most people have a Barclays or Lloyd's or whatever. What happens if you just use that abroad?
Oh, this is a good one. So with a traditional high street bank debit card abroad, you're typically looking at, let me go through it, a non-sterling transaction fee, usually 2.75 to 2.99% of every purchase. Then a cash withdrawal fee, often $1.50 to $3 flat, plus a percentage on top. Then a poor Visa or MasterCard wholesale rate, sometimes an additional flat foreign usage fee per transaction.
So it all stacks up.
It all stacks up. Combined, you can easily hit 5 to 6% on top of the real rate. And nobody tells you this when you open the account. You just sort of discover it on your statement afterwards.
That's grim. Okay, so you mentioned there was something even worse? Dynamic currency something?
Dynamic currency conversion, DCC. And honestly, this one catches even experienced travelers.
Go on.
So you're paying by card abroad, right? And the terminal pops up and asks, do you want to pay in pounds or in the local currency? And it sounds helpful. See the amount in your home currency. Very reassuring.
I always choose pounds. I want to know what I'm paying.
And that's exactly what they're counting on. But when you choose pounds, the merchant's payment processor does the conversion instead of your card network. And their rate is almost always dreadful. Typically 4 to 8% worse than what Visa or MasterCard would have given you.
Oh, so I've literally been choosing the expensive option every time?
Probably, yeah. And the wording on the terminal is deliberately designed to make DCC sound like the safer choice. It's really quite, I was gonna say clever, but it's kind of manipulative, honestly.
Do you have, like, a real example of how much this actually costs?
Yeah, I actually tested this in Lisbon last spring. A €120 restaurant bill. The terminal offered two options, pay €120 or pay €106.40 in your home currency. The MasterCard rate that evening would have converted €120 to about €101.80. So choosing pounds would have cost me an extra $4.60 on a single dinner.
On one meal?
One meal, nearly 4.5% extra for absolutely no benefit. And across a week of card spending, it adds up fast.
So the rule is just always pay in local currency?
Always, every time. If the terminal shows a pound amount, decline it. If a hotel receipt shows GBP, ask them to rerun it in local currency. And this applies to ATM withdrawals too. If the ATM offers to convert for you, decline.
Okay, I love this. And you said something earlier that really stuck with me. Teach everyone you're traveling with the phrase,
In local currency, please. Yeah, especially older family members who might not be as familiar with all this. It's one sentence that can save 5% on every card transaction of the entire trip.
brilliant. Right, so we've covered all the ways to lose money. Please tell me there's good news. What should people actually be doing?
There is genuinely good news. So the two clear leaders in the specialist card space are Wise, formerly TransferWise, and Revolut. Both give you a card, an app, and the ability to hold and convert dozens of currencies at rates within about 0.5% of mid-market.
And what's the difference between them?
So Wise charges a small transparent fee per conversion, typically 0.35 to 0.6%, and applies the true mid-market rate. Really good for larger transactions and international transfers.
Revolut offers free conversions up to a monthly limit on its free plan, but they do apply weekend markups, which is worth knowing. Paid tiers remove most of those limits.
Oh, weekend markups? What's that about?
Right, so currency markets close Friday evening and reopen Sunday night. During that gap, providers like Revolut add a markup of 0.5 to 1% to protect themselves from price movements. So if you're converting a large amount, do it midweek during London market hours, roughly 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. when spreads are tightest.
Huh, that's actually really useful. I would never have thought about the timing of it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. And a quick thing on objections people have, opening either account doesn't run a hard credit check. They're both FCA authorized. You can cancel anytime with no fee, no hidden monthly charges on the standard tiers.
Oh, that's actually reassuring because I think people worry about signing up for yet another financial thing.
Totally. And then beyond those two, there are some really good fee-free debit and credit cards from actual banks. Chase UK, no foreign fees, uses the MasterCard rate, 1% cashback in the first year. Starling Bank, no foreign fees, no ATM fees abroad, MasterCard rate. And on the credit card side, Barclaycard Rewards and Halifax Clarity are both solid, no foreign transaction fees.
So you get one of those cards, you use it abroad, always pay in local currency. What about cash? Because there are still situations where you need it, right?
Yeah, even in 2026, some places, market stalls in Southern Europe, tipping, certain taxi drivers, cash is still king. So for that, order online in advance from somewhere like TravelX or the post office for pickup, or even better, use one of those fee-free debit cards at a bank-branded ATM once you arrive. Just, and this is important, avoid Euronet and other independent ATM operators. They're notorious for bad rates and hidden fees.
And don't take out tiny amounts repeatedly, right? I think I read that somewhere.
Exactly, yeah. If your card charges a flat fee per withdrawal, taking out €50 5 times costs you 5 fees. Take out €250 once instead. Even with a fee-free card, it's just more efficient.
Makes sense. Now, what about bigger transfers, like someone buying property abroad or paying university fees overseas?
Yeah, so for anything over £5,000, the stakes get much higher. Never use your high street bank's international transfer service without comparing first. A single transfer can cost $150 to $300 more with a bank than with a specialist like Wise, Currencies Direct, or OFX. And on something like a $50,000 property deposit, that gap can widen to over $1,000.
Over £1,000 on one transaction?
On one transaction. And there's another thing for big purchases. Exchange rate movements of 2 to 3% between deposit and completion can wipe out months of savings. So there are things called forward contracts offered by specialists like Currencies Direct and OFX that lock in today's rate for future delivery, worth exploring for any transfer over $10,000.
Okay, that's really important for anyone in that situation. Right, so can we do a quick checklist? Like the week before you travel, what should people actually do?
Absolutely. So first, check the live mid-market rate for your destination currency. Just Google it, takes 10 seconds. Second, if you don't already have one, order a fee-free travel card. Chase, Starling, Wise, applications take about 10 minutes on your phone.
10 minutes, that's nothing.
Right. Third, if you need physical cash, pre-order it online for collection. Don't just rock up at the airport. Fourth, set yourself a mental benchmark. You really shouldn't be paying more than 1% above mid-market for anything.
1%. Okay.
Fifth, practice in local currency, please, and brief everyone traveling with you. Sixth, check ATM withdrawal limits on your chosen card. And seventh, keep a backup card in a separate bag just in case you lose one.
And if you do all of that consistently?
You'll save 4 to 6% on every trip abroad. And over a decade of holidays, business trips, international transfers, that's genuinely thousands of pounds staying in your pocket instead of, someone else's. Have I explained that clearly? Because it really is that straightforward.
You have, yeah, crystal clear. Honestly, I feel a bit annoyed at past me for all the money I've just handed over at airport kiosks. But this is really actionable stuff. Thank you, Assad.
Anytime. And look, the main thing is, once you can see the spread, you stop paying it. That's really all it comes down to.
Love it. All right, everyone, go get that fee-free card. Remember, in local currency, please, and stop giving your holiday money away for free. We'll see you next time. Quick side note, this guide connects with other cost saver blogs, especially sending money abroad from the Help to Buy equity loan and RKI implications and mistakes to avoid when moving cities.
Exactly. And reading those together helps you connect the dots across your household budget, not just this one topic in isolation.
And if you want to apply this immediately, jump into tools like UK Currency Converter, Live ECB Rate plus Travel Money Optimizer, Currency Converter Tool, and UK Currency Converter Tool right after this episode.
Primary sources used here include Money Saving Expert and Which, how to get the best exchange rates so you can verify the data yourself and stay evidence-led.
That wraps this cost saver conversation with Angela and Assad. If this helped, share it with someone who could put these ideas to work this week.
Your next step is simple. Try UK Currency Converter, Live ECB Rate plus Travel Money Optimizer. Then read Sending Money Abroad from the